The physical distance.
Yeah. It's just sort
I
of,
am far away from you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Liquid Lunch. We're talking about how far we are away from each other. Right?
Yes.
Well, we got Phyllis Hiebert here from Execu Suite Luxury Furnished Rentals. Is that the full name of the business, Phyllis?
Execu Suite Luxury Furnished Rentals? No.
Yeah.
I truncated it. It's actually Execu Suite.
Execu Suite.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you guys do?
Well, what we do is we provide luxury furnished accommodation for short to mid-term in the GTA, appealing primarily to professionals, people relocating, actors on assignment, that kind of market.
That's pretty cool. How'd you get into this business? Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's got to be, you've got to be in a fairly hot market to do this kind of business, I would think. And I don't mean, because Toronto's a hot town.
Yeah.
Right? In many ways.
Yes. Well, like a lot of things in life, I sort of stumbled into it. Literally. I left the corporate world a year and a half ago. I've been consulting for 25 years, started my own consulting company, published a book, and was just plodding along doing what it was that I thought I should be doing. And I had a wonderful opportunity. I was selected to participate in a design show called Candace Tells All.
Candace Tells All?
Yes, it's on Channel 27, the Women's Network.
Oh.
Which I'm sure you're glued to every night. Anyway, it was an absolutely amazing experience. Spent 6 weeks with them and their team, and seeing what goes on, in this kind of production.
So what were you doing with the show?
Basically just there for the initial taping, walkthrough of my place, talking about what my inspiration and what my need was, because I was working from home, and how they could help me transform my condo. Now, interestingly enough, I happen to live in, have a condo in the Massey Harris Lofts, which is a heritage building, 14-foot ceilings, original brickwork.
I've been in that building.
You've been in it?
It's on King West, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it was a really, I think from their perspective, it was a great design opportunity and an interesting storyline. What I had no idea of, I was there to just sort of have my home transformed into, an office space. I had no idea where it would actually lead to. It was a great experience. Once they started doing the work, I actually got out of town, flew to Cuba and hung out. And I came back and it was fantastic. And so, but it takes a lot of time and sort of pulled me away from my business. And after they left, I was sort of mulling around, what I should do next, and how to resurrect the consulting business, get it happening, and what I felt I should be doing. And I had a nap one day, and I woke up, and the words came to me, do what you love. And Toronto's my 9th city. In every city I've lived in, I've always bought homes, decorated, redesigned, and flipped. And so I thought, why don't I do this? And my initial thought was just with this unit. Mm-hmm. And so I sat down, I spent the weekend, I created a website, and my first month I had 500 hits. And it rented like that, and a month later I bought another condo, did the same thing with it, and now I'm slowly bringing on clients and doing the same thing with their condos.
And when you say short to medium term, because
Yes.
that's what you said, right?
Yes.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, we're not a bed and breakfast. We're not a hotel. But
That would be really short term.
that would be very, very short term. We're an extended stay, fully furnished. So the minimum stay tends to be 3 months. But I have clients that have booked in for a year, year and a half, because they're maybe on assignment or on a contract or shooting a longer TV pilot or something like that, and they want to feel like they're in a home, not some cookie cutter condo.
And it's probably cheaper than staying in a hotel, for sure, right?
hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. And what we also offer, which is, a little bit unique, although a lot of companies may claim that they do offer this, is concierge.
In all your units?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you actually manage the tactics of that? Because so you have a person on call then to service the whole downtown area, or your units?
Well, it depends. And I'm offering up the concept of concierge, building it very, very slowly, and based at this point on client requirements. The first thing that has come up is pet care,
Yes.
because people bring their pets. So it's really a part of offering that very, very personalized service and understanding each and every client or guest and what their needs are. So, for example, I had somebody move in a few months ago, and they have a dog. And when they arrived, there were doggy dishes, there were treats, there was, everything was set up to cater to somebody who would be arriving with a dog.
Nice.
Also, this client does some traveling, so we can arrange for dog walking, dog sitting while you're gone. So it's really about let us take care of you. You need your dry cleaning picked up, you need, whatever you need to sort of make your life and your stay here as comfortable and as stress-free as possible.
So how are you finding the how old is the business exactly?
5 months.
5 months.
Yep.
And it sort of started by accident almost.
Yes.
But I mean, how are you finding, because you've, running a business like this, you've sort of got your ear to the, I don't know, the rail, I don't know what the metaphor is, but to the pulse of what's happening economically, real estate-wise, and that sort of thing. What's your kind of vibe about, the Toronto real estate market, or the real estate market in general?
Well, I hardly consider myself in a position to comment on the Toronto real estate market. I'm more of a consumer of information than a provider. What I'm hearing in terms of, putting my ear to the pulse, because I watch real estate shows. I mean, I follow the open houses. I have a sense of what's going on in the market. So I can only sort of speak to my prediction, for me and my business and what my service offering is. Toronto is a happening city. It will always be a happening city. There's always going to be, there's movies happening here. There's TV shows being shot. There's always executives and workers, coming in on assignment, consultants on projects. So the demand is always going to be there. So, I don't see any softening in it for the purposes of what I'm doing, not at all.
Yeah.
In fact, if anything, it's in a way maybe a good news story, because if rates go up, there may be buyers who are looking to have somebody take over and manage their property for them if it's something that they can't carry.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. How many units do you have?
As of last night, 4.
And where are they? What parts of town?
Okay, well, it's interesting. I made a decision that we were not going to be all things to all people. And, I'm not, so at present, and this may change if the demand changes and, and with growth, but the target market of the company is the King West and Liberty Village areas. That is really, I don't think most of Toronto is aware of what's going on there in terms of the growth, the development, the restaurants, the shops. It is a great little community, literally a 20-minute walk from the heart of downtown. Mm-hmm. And I think, and what I'm finding from my clients is they love the fact that they're not in some high-rise in downtown Toronto and working on Bay Street, that they actually get to walk or cycle home. I have one of my clients who actually works on Bay Street, and he said, I love this. I take my bike to work, and I cycle home in 15 minutes, and this is a great neighborhood, and I can walk my dog, and And I'm finding that they're just loving this little gem in the heart of downtown.
Well, I can't believe how much that Liberty Village, King West area has changed in the last, well, every day it changes, right?
Yes.
But I mean, what are some of the big highlights, some of the really cool things that are going on down there?
Down there, well, I rarely leave the village.
When you call it the village, like, I mean, how do you define that village? Like, what are the boundaries of it?
The boundaries of it would be, well, I think probably maybe even as far as Dufferin at the extreme,
Yeah.
and not as far as Bathurst, maybe just east of Strawn.
Yeah.
That's that whole. And what's very interesting is because it's dotted with not too many, but there's clubs, there's bars. We call it the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's events on, like the CNE or other things, we'll sit in the pub and go, oh, can't wait till the tourists leave.
Yeah.
And people are very loyal to the neighborhood. We're friendly. We know each other. It literally feels like you're living in a little village. But yet you're looking at the CN Tower.
Yeah. What's your what pub? Shoeless Joe's? No, I'm just
No.
asking.
No. Well,
I know there's a Shoeless Joe's down there.
yes, it's a little east
Okay.
of the Hood. So probably starts with the Foggy Dew.
Yeah.
And then, for example, last night I was in a place that just opened a couple of weeks ago called Bar Vespa, which is right in Liberty Village.
Yeah, they got there's the Liberty Cafe or something too. They
Yes.
got a few places right in, like.
Oh, they've got a number. There's a Starbucks in there. There's a Cinceto. I can't pronounce it, but it's an Italian restaurant that opened up. The Brazen Head's been there for a number of years now. There's one called The Landing. It just opened up this summer. Every time I'm down there, I look and it's like, oh my God, there's another restaurant that just opened up. I happen to dance. There's a dance studio called Danceology right in Liberty Village. And so I'm there all the time.
Mhm.
And that's how I noticed, oh my God, here's another this. There's a cheese shop. You wouldn't believe, you can get everything right in the village.
And there's a big supermarket there too now, right?
Yeah, the Metro. You pop in there, you can, liquor store, banks, Metro, get your hair cut, go for a massage, see your physio, buy your groceries. You can do it all.
Now, okay, now there's a
Schooling as well.
Bowling?
Schooling.
Oh, no, we are missing a bowling alley. Yes, yes. No, no. I'm really talking, geographically
Yeah.
about a very small area. Although there's a daycare center right beside my building.
Yeah.
But no, it's this
Sort of
is,
urban professionals, and
it's urban professionals. Yeah.
now what are they going to do with
Definitely.
that stadium, right? The Lamport Stadium?
Is that where the soccer stadium?
No, it's right off King Street, unless they tore it down since the last time I was down there. It's on the south side,
Yes.
right? On the south side of King, a little bit west of the train tracks.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
isn't
It's
there a
hopping.
stadium there?
It's hopping.
Isn't there a stadium there though?
Yes,
Yeah.
soccer. I believe it's
Oh,
soccer.
okay. So I thought,
Yeah, good attendance. I mean, yeah, and there's another attraction for the community.
yeah.
We've got sports.
Aren't
There's
they gonna-
baseball diamond. There's 2 dog parks.
Yeah.
We've got it all.
Okay. All right. What else do you want to talk about?
Okay.
What else do you want to tell us about your business that we haven't asked you about that we
What's-
should know?
how might it grow? What are some of your visions for it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really interesting question. Because when you start on this, I mean, I had a certain vision, and I actually, true to my education, because I have an MBA, I spent 6 weeks writing a business case, and I did market research and all the stuff that you're supposed to do. I've now rewritten that business case 7 times, and I keep updating it as my knowledge and my vision and my sense of what it wants.
Can you talk about some of the changes from first iteration to your 7th?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. Wow. I wish I would have looked at it. If I look back at it, I think my first iteration was, I'm just going to be all things to all people. The world is my oyster. I'm going to get out there geographically, I saw myself being in the GTA, but, from Parliament to Dufferin and up to Bloor, and I not very quickly actually, came to the realization of, okay, well, this market for, high-rise towers filled with 20 condos, same old, all look alike, that's saturated. And do I really want to I want it to be something really unique in the Toronto market.
Yeah.
So that's what sort of, the second iteration, which was my financial targets, which were extremely positive and optimistic.
Yeah.
I've now completely downgraded that, and I guess probably most startup entrepreneurs will tell you, I'm not going to make any money till at least year 2 in terms of starting to recoup, the investment and the time and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what starting a business is all about, and you need to be prepared to just hang in there for the long haul.
But you're building equity every day, right?
Every day. One day, I now have, in the one building I have three condos, 3 units. And one day I was sitting outside on the bench and just having a coffee and looking at the building. And one of my tenants walked by and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Just watching my assets appreciate."
What a nice feeling.
Nice feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's going to, I don't see that it's something that I can lose in. The growth is very measured, it's very slow, and because I could have been out there just running around, and I purposely kept it really slow, because even the idea, the concept of service, it's one thing to market and bring in the business and bring in the owners and bring in the tenants. The other thing is actually servicing that. And so if you start with 10, how can you service that? You don't even know what you're doing. And so I've had, the last 5 months to learn, like, one client at a time, what that's all about.
And plus, with that kind of organic growth, you get a chance to learn as you go and feed that information back into your business planning, right?
Absolutely.
And what have you learned?
What have I learned?
Through doing this business, because it's interesting that it sort of started by accident.
Yeah. You know what? If you had asked me a year ago what my plans were, this would have been nowhere on the landscape, not at all. And for me, every day I'm learning. Every day, it's been such So I'm not going to get into the practicalities of what I've learned about picking out tile and the cushion depth that a couch should be, because those are just the mechanics of it. What I've learned is to really to take it slow, and everything. Even my contracts have gone through many iterations. To what I'm doing is I'm documenting my processes and constantly going in and updating, because it's one thing to do it for one, but can you replicate it
exactly
for 10?
Yeah.
And revising them, and I think this is where a lot of it's probably a really good idea that I grew up and spent 25 years in the corporate world, and so I'm taking a lot of those lessons, like document your processes, update, and actually applying that, have a quality system in place. I'm applying that to my own little entrepreneurial venture, which is, I'm sort of the antithesis of an entrepreneur, because people with MBAs typically don't become entrepreneurs. If they have that entrepreneurial blood and spirit in them, they don't have the patience for 7 years of university. They're out there making it happen immediately. So I think to answer your question, I will tell you that when I started this and embarked on it and told people about it, the responses ranged from, "Oh, well, good for you, good luck.
Yes.
Let me know when you succeed," to absolute who do you think you are to be starting this? What do you know? Are you crazy? Like, when are you going to stop this notion? One person told me I should see a therapist. What I have learned is the best person's counsel to follow, apart from your lawyers, is your own, and that you really just have to, trust that instinct of proceeding despite what all the naysayers are saying, just to follow your course, listen to input, but trust your own counsel, and to also be able to be flexible and adapt. So it's not with this rigidity of I'm doing it my way and it's only my way and I'm never going to change. Be open to that input.
So who should get in touch with you that's watching this right now? Like, what are these, like the actors that are coming to Toronto, or
Yes.
or who should get in touch?
Yeah, I think if they're production people who are looking for good quality actors, actresses on movie shoots are good. Corporate people like HR managers who are looking to house consultants or temporary employees on temporary assignments. Even if you're renovating and want a neat place to stay, or you're moving to Toronto, not sure what area of the city you want to live in, and want to camp out somewhere for 6 months while you decide, that's the market that I'm looking for.
And people want to live in a nice place with character in the West.
A
Liberty
nice
Village.
place with character, all the amenities, no stress. You don't have the manicness of the downtown high-rise. If you really want a great experience, this is the place to come.
Okay, and where can they check it out? What's the website?
The website is www.exec-u-suite.com.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, Phyllis, this has been great. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It makes me wish that I didn't live in Toronto and that I was coming here and I needed a place to stay.
Oh, you know what? You can come by for a visit anytime.
Okay, all right.
Great.
Okay.
Now the sort of the new queen of Liberty Village, and
You know what? I read this in the Globe and Mail this summer. They were saying Peter Freed is the king of King Street.
yes,
And I went, fine, I'm going to be the queen of King Street.
very good. Oh my goodness,
He can be the king.
good.
Well, who's going to be the king of Queen Street?
Well, that's not really my market, and
Okay.
it's open. It's wide open.
All right.
Right.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a little break and come back in a couple minutes with more here on Liquid Lunch.
Where have you been? And now time runs into seconds, and your presence is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And outside the sunshine melts the snow.